2 more minutes. They could be miles off course.
That's impossible. They're on instruments. This is going to be a real sweat.
Welcome everybody to Ready for Pushbacks, episode 5, where we're going to talk about hardware for your flight simulator experience. Now, there are lots of different kinds of hardware that you can add to make your flying experience more enjoyable, a little more realistic, and it helps to be able to not have to move the windows around to all the different things in your cockpit, like radio panels, autopilot panels, and what have you. Some of the switch panels that are up top. Some of the stuff you got nice and live right in front of you behind the scenes. So, we're going to move on to some of the stuff that I have. I have stuff from a company named Saitek, and stuff is pretty good. Pretty reasonably priced. No major issues. There are some stuff with Windows 10, but it's mostly a Windows 10 thing, not a Saitek thing, where Windows 10 likes to shut down the USB ports for power consumption savings, which can mess up the panels somewhat, but those are options that you can turn off in Windows 10. There are videos on YouTube, as well as other places on the internet, to explain how to do that. That's pretty much the only issue I have run into since purchasing these panels. Now, granted, I've purchased these panels gradually over the last 5 years. So, in any case, let's move on to them and let's show you some of the hardware that I have. And, like I said, if you're interested in some of it, check out Saitek. I believe they're owned by Logitech now. But anyway, some of these things are pretty nifty. So, moving on. This is my multi-panel by Saitek. They do an excellent job with these panels. So this is the first panel I want to show you. It has mostly your autopilot features, as well as flaps and pitch trim controls. So we have our auto throttle here, which you can flip on. You got your flaps. You can go up and down, obviously, and you have your altitude settings, your vertical speed settings, your indicated airspeed settings, headings, and your course settings. So, which obviously, get my other hand here, that you can adjust via the knobs. And of course, when you turn on your heading holds, your speed, well, your speed will go on. Your approach, what have you, the lights turn on. So some of these lights won't turn on because I'm on the ground. So anyway, that is the multi-panel. Right below it, I have my radio stack. Very useful panel, very helpful, because the radio stack in the Microsoft Flight Simulator on most of the planes is down there. So, yellow. Anyway, so this makes it very easy. You got your COM1s, you got your COM2s, you have your NAV1s, NAV2s, your ADFs, your DMEs, and your transponder. Yes, you can set your transponder. By the way, I'm sorry about the light, but there's not much I can do about that. It's just happened to be the way the window is today. Not that the window moves at all, but hey, it's sunlight out. So, anyway, so I usually use my bottom panel as COM2. My upper one is COM1. I also move between my NAV1s. So, on my bottom, I usually leave the top one on COM1. But you can do whatever you'd like. Obviously, you can adjust your knobs here on your standby frequencies, and then switch them on over. Very similar to a real-world panel there, as you would see in an aircraft. So, in any case, let's move on, and we'll come across, and we'll come down to our switch panel, also by Saitek. So here we are, we got our switch panel, and it's pretty simple. Got batteries, you got your avionics, your fuel pump, your deicer, and your pitot heat right here. Your cowl, whether it's open or closed. You have all your lights here: panel light, beacon light, nav light, strobe light, taxi lights, and landing lights. You also have your landing gear lever on the switch panel. So, obviously it's not going to do anything, but you also have your lights indicator. It will go from green to yellow to red if there's an issue, or blank out like it does in the real world. If you're flying a non-jet engine aircraft, you also have starter here for your mags. I fly mostly jets, so I don't use it. Anyway, that is the switch panel. It's pretty straightforward, but excellent add-on. It's a nice feature. Be able to switch some stuff, throw your gear up, what have you. Next panel. This is the backlit information panel, also by Saitek. Now, the problem with this panel is it's probably, if I remember right, I don't think it is no longer for sale. Saitek discontinued it. They had some issues with it, although I've never seemed to have any issues with it, but I don't think it's for sale anymore, that you could buy it brand new. However, you can probably find it online somewhere if you look. So, it's a nice add-on. You can configure it any way you want. It's got plenty of different little things that you add in. Let me show them to you. What you got here are these little panels, okay, that it comes with. So, different things that you can add into the slots inside here, okay. So this whole thing pulls off. You put these little things in where you want them. There's a program that comes with the software that you can change the color of them. So if you want master warning to be yellow instead of red, you can make it that color, or you can make it green. Not that you would make your master warning green, but yellow, red, and green are your colors, as you can choose for the backlight. You program it, and it will react with the flight simulator and your other panels, you know, as needed. So for example here, we put on a strobe light. There goes the strobe light indicator on there. Put on the landing lights. There's the landing lights indicator. So I put on my autopilot, and there it comes up, AP Master. Shut it down, what have you, and there it all is. If I shut down my APU, we get a vacuum low and yellow right here. So you can configure it any way you want. You can put these anywhere you want. Then the program comes up, you program it. Okay, you want this to be here, you want that to be there, and it recognizes it, and it sets it up. It's a really nice add-on. I love it. I love this thing. So it's nice to be able to just look over and say, oh, my fuel's low. You know, yellow lights come on, fuel's low. Tells me my, you know, so I can transfer, you know, fuel from one tank to the other. It's nice. It's a really good add-on. Has good indicators. So, like I said, it's very user-friendly in the fact that they give you lots and lots of different, panels. I mean, here. I mean, this is just one set of, I think, 5 that come with it. So, it's a really nice add-on. Anyway, moving on. And we come down here. This, pardon the board, is my instrument panel. Now, the neat thing about this little guy is you can add as many of these as you want. I've seen people that have 6 of them online. I've seen people that have 8, 10, 12, 15. As many as you want is as many as you can add. Okay? I only feel the need for one. But if you want to have a full deck here, you can stack them up on top of each other and what have you. Nice thing about it is you can change, there's the opening screen, but you can change each panel to be what you want. So here's your altimeter, airspeed, your artificial horizon, compass or heading indicator, terrain coordinator, your vertical speed indicator, a little bit of a multi-panel there, one of your navs, compass, so on and on and on. You got your fuel, so and temperature and some other things. I prefer this panel. It's the one I use the most. It's got a little bit of everything in it. It's great for my jets. The other thing that's nice about it is you can bring up your panels here. So for example, I hit GPS and the GPS comes up. So not looking through menus and what have you. Don't have to assign extra buttons to anything else that you have. It's all right here. So very nice little addition to your flight simulator experience. The other nice thing about it is as I'm flying, as you can see, I can look out the window here, and instead of having to go down here and look at these windows, if I'm just sitting here like this, flying along, everything's here. I can just look down. Look up, look down, we're good to go. Alright, that happens to be mounted on our next thing, which is the flight yoke, which is this whole thing right here. Here's our flight yoke. One of the most important things, obviously, is to have a flight yoke. So I would think that would be the first thing you would want to add to any of your flight simulator experience. Now, there's plenty of them out there. CH makes some. Saitek obviously makes some. There's lots of different flight yokes. So look into it, see which ones you like. This one happens to have the time on it. You can also put your stopwatch on it, what have you. Plus lots of little buttons that you can program to do different things. Like my little switch down here brings up ATC. That automatically puts it to a forward view. This changes my views. So excellent. Man, I almost think it's an essential add-on for Flight Simulator. It's not really an excellent just add-on. It's really an essential. You really should have a flight yoke. At a very, very minimum, if you want your Flight Simulator experience. I don't really understand how. I guess if you had a joystick, they're decent too, but joysticks, some planes have them, some planes don't. I prefer a flight yoke. I want a steering wheel. So maybe I'm old-fashioned that way. But use what you got to use. It's better than a keyboard and a mouse, let's put it that way. With your flight yoke, now you can order, with Saitek, you can order just the flight yoke and have that. You can order your throttle quadrant, which is down here. So here's our throttle quadrant. You get 3 different knobs. Of course, you can set it up as throttle. If you have multi-engines, you can do that. It has its own little buttons down here that you can program as well. Anyway, to finish my thought, you could have the yoke and this. They come as one package. So you can have your throttle quadrant and your yoke through Saitek as one package. By the way, Saitek, I think, was bought by Logitech now. So go to Logitech's website if you want to look at some of this stuff. The I think they purchased Saitek, if I remember right. Anyway, so there's your throttle quadrant. Another excellent add-on. I'm sorry about the cord. My phone battery is low. That's what I'm filming this on. So you can get those two together. You can get them separately. I think you could just order the throttle quadrant too separately. So, in any case, you have that. Now, I also happen to have rudder pedals from Saitek down below. Another thing that makes your flight more realistic, not a necessity necessarily, although every plane has rudders and brakes, but you can set the tension on this thing, set you know, how your feet are, shorter or smaller, how, you know, there's a lot of adjustments on this, make it more comfortable for you. So, but between the flight yoke, rudder pedals, throttle quadrant, those are, as far as I'm concerned, some of the most important things that you can add hardware-wise. One of the first things you would want to add hardware-wise to your flight simulator experience is to make it a lot more realistic. So, in any case, that's my hardware, folks. Those are the little add-ons that I have on my flight simulator that you're seeing in the background from these videos. So when I'm flying, I'm flipping those switches. So if you hear me in the background flipping switches and doing stuff, those are the pieces of hardware that you see or that you hear in the background as I'm going along. So anyway, thank you for watching, and always appreciate your feedback, comments, and please subscribe below. And I hope you have a pleasant day and pleasant flight. Enjoy your flight simulator experience, and I'll see you on the next episode. Thank you, everybody. Have a great day.